be out there, she would be. Shortly before the show, Clark released this statement through the Fever's social media account saying that she's so excited for Indiana to host WNBA All-Star this weekend, and that she says she knows that this is going to be the best All-Star yet. But she does go on to say how incredibly sad and, quote, disappointed she will not be able to participate, adding, quote, "I have to rest my body. I'll still be at Gainbridge Fieldhouse for all of the action. I'm looking forward to helping Sandy coach our team."
Adam Silver just watched the WNBA's biggest moneymaker announce she's sitting out the All-Star game due to another injury. And the timing could not be worse. With the league's CBA negotiations falling apart and lockout talk gaining steam, Caitlin Clark's absence from the WNBA's biggest showcase weekend has NBA leadership on edge. And it's no surprise. When your top asset goes down right in the middle of a league-wide crossroads, it's no longer just a basketball problem. It's a crisis. Do you think Adam Silver is right to be worried about how the WNBA is handling its most valuable player during such a pivotal moment? Should he finally fire Cathy Engelbert? Let us know down in the comments below.
We do start our show, though, with unfortunate news out of the WNBA. Caitlin Clark announced today that she will miss both the three-point contest and the WNBA All-Star Game this upcoming weekend in Indiana after re-aggravating a groin injury in that final minute of Tuesday's win over the Connecticut Sun. Clark had missed 4 games and the Commissioner's Cup final with that groin injury earlier this month, and now will be out for this weekend's festivities, which really stinks for fans, but you know that if there was any way that she could be out there.
Let's unpack why this situation is an absolute nightmare for the league. On Thursday afternoon, Caitlin Clark officially pulled out of the All-Star game. She had already skipped the three-point contest on Friday, with Lexi Hull taking her place after re-injuring her right groin during Tuesday's game. But here's what makes this so devastating. This isn't happening in some quiet week. It's unfolding during the exact moment league executives are negotiating a new collective bargaining agreement, one that could determine whether or not the WNBA even has a 2026 season.
I'll leave the specific question about the foul to my colleague, Commissioner Engelbert. I mean, other than as a fan, obviously, you know, it's nothing new in basketball that there's sort of welcome to the league moments, especially for heralded rookies. But of course, I want to see Caitlin treated fairly. And
Adam Silver has already gone on record saying, "Of course I want Caitlin to be treated fairly and appropriately in this league." So when he sees her miss the league's biggest event due to what many believe is poor injury management, it's more than just concern. It's a red flag. And considering the NBA financially supports the WNBA, this isn't just a PR issue for Cathy Engelbert. It's a warning, loud and clear, from the top. Clark's injury couldn't have come at a worse moment, and it's time to hold the people responsible accountable.
Look, J.C. Sheldon needs CC in the groin.
It was just a weird...
It is not looking good for Caitlin Clark. This was by far the worst ref game. It looked like they wanted Caitlin Clark to be hurt, or they wanted something bad to happen to Caitlin.
Commissioner Cathy Engelbert has completely failed when it comes to protecting the league's most marketable and influential player. Veteran sports columnist Christine Brennan has openly called Engelbert out, pointing to how she dodges questions about Clark and redirects to other players like Angel Reese, even when Clark is the only one being asked about. That's not leadership, that's spin. And fans aren't buying it.
In terms of the comments, in terms of the way the commissioner, Cathy Engelbert, who I've known and I like, the way she has trouble talking about Caitlin Clark, or if she's asked about Caitlin, then she will say, well, Caitlin and Angel. Well, she wasn't asked about Angel, you know, she was asked about Caitlin. This incredible inability to deal with the facts and to state the obvious. It is astounding to me how Cathy Engelbert doesn't come out after the Marina Mabry hit and say, that's unacceptable, the refs got it wrong. Okay, should have been kicked out then, you weren't.
This is the person in charge of pushing the league forward, and she can't even speak Clark's name without pivoting. It's not just a missed PR opportunity, it's a leadership vacuum. And the numbers don't lie. Since Clark went down, national WNBA viewership has plummeted. Games featuring the Indiana Fever on national TV dropped from an average of over 1.8 million viewers to just 847,000 after her injury, a 53% collapse. That's millions of dollars disappearing, and Engelbert is acting like the league is fine. And how did we get here? Let's talk about the officiating disaster that led to this moment. According to kinesiology expert Dr. Lucas Seafarer, 141 injuries have been reported across the WNBA since opening night. That's out of just 179 active players. In a 44-game season, that's an absurdly high rate of injury. It should have triggered immediate action from the league's leadership, but Engelbert has responded with the urgency of a wet napkin.
The ball handler, there's a grab, there's a hold, there's another grab. I mean,
All of those are
fouls. Every single one of them. And here, that's a foul, and finally they call.
Officiating has been so poor that WNBA legend and broadcaster Rebecca Lobo has been forced to call it out live on air. During a game, she walked viewers through multiple missed fouls on Caitlin Clark, saying, "There's a grab, there's a hold, another grab, that's a foul, that's a foul." When Hall of Famers are forced to publicly call out officiating in real time, that's not a minor issue. It's a total breakdown of league credibility. And it's not just media. Caitlin Clark's own coach, Stephanie White of the Indiana Fever, has had to go public again and again about the officiating disaster. After multiple games, she's voiced her outrage, saying, "I thought she got fouled." It's pretty egregious what's been happening to us. The disrespect toward our team has been unbelievable.
I thought she got fouled. I think it's pretty egregious what's been happening to us the last few games. A minus 31 free throw discrepancy. And I might be able to understand it if we were just chucking threes, but we're not. We're attacking the rim. And the disrespect right now for our team has been pretty unbelievable. So it's disappointing.
That's not a coach being emotional. That's a coach calling out a systemic failure. But it didn't stop there. After Clark took repeated hits in a game against the Connecticut Sun, White gave a fiery post-game press conference, blasting the referees for losing control and criticizing the league for its ongoing inaction. She didn't hold back, saying, "Everyone's improving, except the officials."
Who is played 9 years in Indiana and now on the staff. And that's a live shot now of Caitlin Clark.
She went further, exposing a deeper issue. Every year at our fall and spring league meetings, we talk about this and nothing changes.
The game is fast now. Things are happening quickly. Everybody's getting better, except the officials. So we gotta find a way to remedy it. I mean, you've heard every coach talk about it, so I don't know what the answer is.
In other words, this isn't a new problem. It's a known issue that's been ignored year after year under Kathy Engelbert's watch. While the league has grown in popularity and relevance, the officiating has somehow gotten worse. That's unacceptable. And the groin injury that's now sidelined Caitlin Clark for All-Star Weekend? It's a direct result of these failures. Missed calls, unchecked physicality, and total lack of league accountability. Marina Mabrey shoved Caitlin Clark to the floor after a dead ball, a clear act of aggression. At first, officials handed out only a technical foul, but after fans erupted in outrage, the league was forced to upgrade it to a flagrant 2. They didn't get it right in real time. They only corrected the call after being humiliated publicly. Even Clark's brother, Colin, voiced his frustration on social media, blaming the officials for poor game control that directly led to his sister getting hurt. When family members are speaking out that publicly, it's not just emotion. It's a desperate plea to stop watching their loved one get injured due to complete officiating failure. Kathy Engelbert's response? Completely dismissive. When pressed about growing criticism around officiating, her reply was, "It's interesting. No winning team ever complains about officiating. No losing team ever doesn't." That's not leadership. That's tone-deaf arrogance from someone out of touch with the seriousness of the issue.
Yeah, and the one thing as a very long-term sports fan I know is that officiating and refereeing is always at the top of a fan's list, of the media's list. Obviously, we work hard on training. We work hard on consistency. Obviously, not every, they're humans. Looking at technology, basketball is a little more complex than tennis, for instance, around technology of officiating. So we're looking at a variety of different dimensions.
And the business fallout from Engelbert's mismanagement is massive. In 2024, 23 WNBA games surpassed 1 million viewers. Clark played in all but 3 of them. You have to scroll down to the 15th most watched game to find one without the Indiana Fever. Caitlin is the ratings engine of the league, and Engelbert still hasn't managed to protect her. The impact on revenue is just as staggering. ESPN's WNBA ratings soared 170%, from 454,000 to over 1.2 million average viewers. ION saw a 133% increase compared to 2023, all because of Clark. And now, Engelbert's inability to keep her safe is threatening hundreds of millions in future revenue. And this isn't some one-off situation, it's a pattern. Just this past Tuesday, the Fever-Sun game ended with 5 technicals, 3 ejections, 2 flagrant fouls, and 1 total disaster. Referees completely lost control. And why? Because they've been allowed to operate without any real accountability or structure. Just look at the betting market. When Clark went down, sports betting activity on Fever games dropped nearly 50% immediately. That kind of drop-off from a single player's absence tells you everything about her value. She's not just a star, she's the heartbeat of the league's entire business model. Adam Silver sees it. He knows Clark has brought unprecedented attention to women's basketball. But he's also raising red flags about how she's being treated. When the commissioner of the funding partner league goes on the record with subtle but firm concern, it's not just a warning, it's a final notice. Fix this. And this issue goes beyond Clark. Kelsey Plum recently snapped after constant non-calls, venting in a profanity-laced rant. I get fouled like that every possession. They just don't call anything. This officiating breakdown is affecting multiple stars. Coaches and players are fed up. They say calls are wildly inconsistent. What's a foul in the first quarter suddenly isn't in the fourth. One team gets called for something the other team gets away with. That's not basketball. It's chaos in a jersey. And the All-Star Weekend? It's now a symbol of everything that's gone wrong. Clark's image is everywhere in Indianapolis, from the airport to billboards to the arena. The entire event was built around her. And now, she's benched due to repeated injury and mismanagement. Layer in the ongoing CBA talks, and the picture becomes even worse. The current agreement ends on October 31st, 2025, and players are already bracing for a potential lockout. Labor tensions are peaking, and now the league's top player is sidelined during its biggest weekend. What makes this even more tragic is how avoidable it all was. Clark never missed a college game. She was the definition of durability. But under WNBA care, she's now missed multiple stretches. 5 games with a quad injury in May, another 5 with a groin strain in July. This is a player who was once untouchable physically, and now she can't stay healthy. The numbers are terrifying. Her return game drew 2.2 million viewers, peaking at 2.8 million, up 76% over last year's average ABC WNBA game. Her presence alone drives ratings to unprecedented highs. Without her, the league bleeds audience, relevance, and revenue. Even longtime journalists like Christine Brennan are speaking out, saying they like Engelbert personally, but the league office is completely failing to properly market its biggest draw. When veteran media voices start airing grievances in public, it's not nitpicking, it's a full-blown call-out. Meanwhile, fans are mobilizing. Online petitions are popping up demanding officiating reform. One petition reads, "Since Caitlin Clark's arrival, Indiana Fever games have been plagued by missed calls, questionable officiating, and zero discipline for dangerous play." That's not feedback. That's a movement. The pattern of Clark's injuries is even more concerning. Analyst Rachel Dia pointed out how the injuries keep shifting. Left quad, left groin, right groin, suggesting her body mechanics are being thrown off from repeated hits. This isn't just wear and tear, it's systemic breakdown caused by unchecked abuse on the court. The stakes couldn't be higher. The top 10 WNBA games in viewership since 2002 all happened this year. All featured Caitlin Clark. Her importance to the league isn't debatable. It's historical. It's foundational. She's already delivered record-breaking numbers. And now, she's being broken by the very league she's saving. Silver's earlier comments about treating Clark fairly and appropriately now carry heavier weight. Because this isn't just about player care, it's about billion-dollar consequences. The WNBA was projected to surpass $1 billion in revenue this year, mostly due to Caitlyn's influence. Her well-being is no longer just a sports issue. It's a business emergency. The contrast is sharp. Clark gave the league a goldmine: 12.3 million viewers for her Iowa finale, 14.2 million for the Final Four. That Final Four was ESPN's most watched basketball game ever, men's or women's. And what has the WNBA done with this opportunity? Mismanaged it at every turn. The All-Star Weekend is now the perfect metaphor for the Engelbert era. Massive expectations, massive promotion, and a massive letdown. Everything happening now reflects what's being debated in CBA negotiations. Players want a share of rising revenue, and they deserve it. But how do you even start that conversation when the very person driving that revenue is constantly injured due to officiating chaos? Even internationally, this mess has consequences. If Caitlin Clark can't stay healthy in the WNBA, overseas leagues start looking more attractive. The WNBA's growth is tied directly to her availability. And right now, Engelbert is putting all of it at risk. And the worst part? All of this was avoidable. Better officiating, clearer leadership, stronger protection for stars. But instead, we have a broken system: part-time refs, paid per game, juggling duties between NCAA and WNBA. No consistency, no training standard, and zero long-term accountability. That structure is failing, badly. And the result? Your most important player just missed your biggest event, in her home state, because your refs couldn't do their job. Adam Silver's concern isn't a suggestion, it's a final warning. Fix the officiating, protect your stars, or prepare to watch everything collapse. Do you think Adam Silver is right to be worried about how the WNBA is handling its most valuable player during such a pivotal moment? Should he finally fire Cathy Engelbert? Let us know down in the comments below. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen and we will see you in the next one.